Junior League Action Learning teams will focus on new membership models, new governance and management systems, and new issue-based community impact systems. Initially, there will be a total of 5 separate issue or topic areas, 2 within the membership model, 2 within the governance and management model, and 1 in the issue-based community impact model. We are currently anticipating that each action learning team will be based on size to accommodate small, mid-sized, and large leagues. So in total, about 15 alts to start. Each action learning team will address a variety of issues or cluster of innovations within its category. So for example, Membership Action Learning Team A will address membership skills match, multiple entry points, and leaves of absence, while Membership Action Learning Team B will address membership skill match, but also sustainers and formal mentoring. The Governance and Management Action Learning Team A will address the notion of separate governance and management systems, league staff, and new nominating procedures with longer board terms, while Governance and Management Action Learning Team B will explore joint governance and management systems, the new nominating paradigm, and longer board terms. The Community Impact Action Learning Team will be designing various ways to implement the new issue-based community impact model that was introduced at annual conference earlier this year. Initially, there will be up to 15 action learning teams with between 90 to 120 leagues participating. Each action learning team will be comprised of up to 6 to 8 junior leagues. Additionally, each alt will be assigned a coach and a coordinator who will serve the alts in a supportive capacity but will not be members of the alts. Participating leagues will be represented on the alt by 1 member. Within each participating league, a league work team will be comprised of 6 to 8 league members, including the alt representative. The action learning team will work on the issue and then hand over the findings for the league work team to implement the innovation within the league. Action learning teams are designed to be self-governing. In other words, it is a shared authority, and ownership of each action learning team will be shared by the participating leagues. AJLI will provide overall management and support for all of the action learning teams. First and foremost, a league must have buy-in from its members and must be comfortable working and thriving in an environment of constant change and innovation where uncertainty is standard operating procedure. A league must also make a 3-year commitment to the process. In addition, on a very high level, a league chosen to participate in an action learning team is committing to participating in collaborative design work with other leagues and sharing the learnings and findings with all leagues throughout the process, using AJLI support mechanisms to do so. For the leagues that participate in the action learning, will need to really think about how they will weave that into their own organizational strategic direction. So if we think about a strategic plan, most strategic plans that currently exist in organizations do have a 3-year duration. So they really should, I think it's important that leagues see their participation in this process as something that is not separate from the strategic focus of their organization. It absolutely needs to be embedded in the strategic focus and the strategic changes that they vision for their organization.
We are hearing increasingly from leagues that they are chafing under that 12-month horizon that most junior leagues operate under. I think it's going to take some patience and some support from the association to help leagues that do choose to participate to do that kind of 2.5 to 3 year commitment, because it is so different from what they do. But I would also suggest that leagues look inside at other initiatives that they have been engaged in that took longer than 1 year to get off the ground. And I bet you'll find that women, albeit unofficially, were able to sustain their involvement over a 1 year period. What's more important for participation in action learning is the member who is curious about things that are very different. Quite frankly, the member who is more comfortable perhaps than some of us are with multiple truths, who is appreciative of the fact that there are many ways to get to someplace, and quite frankly, and I'm going to borrow from some of the action learning literature, somebody who is reasonably comfortable living on, quote unquote, the edge of chaos, which to some extent is partly how the action learning experience is defined. Now I use the word edge, which means that one never actually falls into chaos. But we're not all comfortable in that kind of open-ended, and those are the women, however, that are going to be the most excited by, and I think get the most out of the action learning experience. Each league is going to need to work through, and each league member is going to need to work through how she negotiates and balances her schedule to be participating. But we are very much interested in membership from every single junior league within our 292-member family. Remember, the action learning process is about the whole league, and therefore the entire membership. But it's important that the leadership of the league reach out as deep and wide as they possibly can to give every interested woman an opportunity to understand this process. By the same token, the leadership of the league continues to play a very critical role in the ongoing success of action learning. The team may be very self-defined. The team was going to be very much involved in an experience of co-creation, but that doesn't mean that the team will operate separate from or outside of the boundaries of the legitimate leadership that the board of the league is exercising. There will be a very close relationship, and the board will be looked to guide the process along, and in effect to ready the league for when the opportunities for innovation are actually developed out of the action learning process. We've talked a lot about how self-governing and self-directing the action learning teams are, but there is a glue that's going to hold it all together, and that is very much the association. The association's job in this, apart from fielding the coordinators into each action learning team, will be also to be the knowledge transfer and the coordinator of the entire process. They will certainly work heavily off of the association's website as a major resource for where they do their work and where other leagues can watch the process that is unfolding. And then as the learnings come out of the action learning experience, it is AJLI's responsibility to see to it that that information gets back out into the system, not just through AJLI trainings and resources, but also into the leagues themselves, particularly those leagues that have chosen not to be part of the initial action learning experience. This is going to be, and quite frankly, technology is going to give us a huge boost here. This is going to be an unbelievably transparent and open process. Everybody in the organization is going to be able, through the website, through opportunities at association meetings and other venues, to have an up-to-the-minute knowledge of what is going on in all of the action learning work that we're going to be unleashing. This is not work that is going to take place behind quote-unquote closed doors. It's going to be very open, and any league who is interested in following our progress is going to be able to do so, whether they were participating in an ALD or not.